I asked ChatGPT how and what to teach beginners sketching, and this is what it says. Let's go. Now, if you don't know what ChatGPT is, it's like the biggest thing since sliced bread in the technology world or information technology world. It is a chatbot that is pretty intelligent, well, way more intelligent than the previous chatbot. And I actually asked it how to teach sketchers how to sketch. So I decided to ask ChatGPT what are the top 10 things a beginner should learn, or at least as a sketching teacher, what I should teach a beginner, in terms of content. And I'm a little bit surprised by the results, but I would say it is pretty good. A couple of things I kind of disagree, but it is, it's a point of view, right? But it has got a very strong point of view, and I'm going to sort of elaborate on the 10 things that it says here, and I'm going to put out some of the links to the videos that I made, which has hit the mark, and there are probably a couple of these which are not relevant to sketching. But nevertheless, I am very impressed with the top 10 list given by ChatGPT. And well, let me just go through and describe some of them. The first is about color theory or basic color theory and how to mix colors. I have a video on this, so I kind of hit the mark for the first one. Now, the second item here, I actually didn't have an exact video for it. I don't have a video that describes wet on wet or wet on dry painting. That gives me an idea that I might do a video on this topic. Okay, item number 3, I didn't quite hit the mark, but I have a video that talks about brushed utilization and how do you play with the brush in order to get the maximum effect. So kind of hit the mark in some way, but not quite. Number 4, texture. How to create different textures and effects with your brush stroke. I didn't quite cover the effect of your brush stroke, but I cover the concept of texture and how it is actually very, very important as one of the elements of sketching. So number 5, I didn't quite talk about how to use a limited palette effectively, but I have a video about setting up limited palette for your watercolor setup, and I think this sort of is in the ballpark, and it's more or less in accordance to what ChatGPT recommend. The next recommendation from ChatGPT is values, how to create a value study before starting a painting. I certainly have a lot of videos on values. I talk lots about it, but one of the best video on values would be this one. Is structure to construct urban sketches. The next 2 recommendations are really good. It's about how to paint skies, landscape, and other outdoor scenes, which really is the whole point of this my channel. It's urban sketching, it's what you see. And number 8, how to paint portraits and figures. I have a whole series of videos on that as well. So I kind of hit the mark on those. I mean, this is about observation, it's about sketching in accordance to what you observe, right? I think number 9 is not quite a good suggestion for beginners, because I always feel that masking fluid and other resist techniques are more for, I would say, watercolorists and not so much for sketches, because you want to carry minimum equipments and your art materials. So when you're sketching, when you're traveling and so on, you really don't want to deal around with masking fluid and all the other stuff, right? But of course, if you're in your studio and you're doing large scale watercolor paintings, yeah, sure. So number 9, I think it's not quite for beginner. Number 10, yes, how to handle and care for your paintbrush and other material. I've videos on those as well. So I kind of think that more or less it has, I would give it a score of 8 out of 10. I mean, in terms of coming up with a syllabus. What's useful though for beginners is that it has given you a series of things that you should be working on in order to improve your sketching skills. I then thought, what if I asked ChatGPT the top 5 things to teach beginning sketches? What would it say? So what came back was completely different and equally interesting, I would say, but I'll just go through here with you. The first one was on composition and perspective, which I have actually covered that, which I'm very, very pleased. to say. The second one is on technique with pencil and other drawing tools. Well, I do talk about techniques with different materials, so that kind of count. Value texture, we have that. Reference materials such as photographs or live subject, I have that too. Plenty of my sketch are based on photographs. And finally, how do you develop your own style and improve your sketch, your skills through practice and key one, observation. So net, ChatGPT has actually got it really right, I must say. Very impressive, you know. And then just for fun, I thought I'd ask ChatGPT about color theory and see what it says. Well, the question I asked was, what are the color theory that beginners sketchers should know, right? Or I should teach? And the answers that came back is equally impressive. And actually, he has given me a lot of ideas about what sort of videos I'll create, around my color series, and I must say that it has given me a lot of food for thought. The color wheel, color harmonies, in terms of complementary, analogous, and so on and so forth, values, temperature, and intensity. So I've got a lot of ideas. So basically, as you can see, ChatGPT has given me a lot of ideas about what to do with the content that I want to create for the channel. So I hope it helps you as well, because then you can think about the things you need to learn as a sketches. Simplification begins with simplicity and a focus area. So top 10, top 5 color stuff, I think it all helps as you consider what are the things you need to learn in order to be a better sketcher. I hope this video helps in some way. I was just having fun playing around with ChatGPT, and I thought I'll use it for my channel and show you some interesting bits about what's happening with the technology world today. I hope you enjoyed that. Till the next one. Goodbye.